David, man, welcome to Stay Paid. Would love to hear just what your big problem is right now that is maybe preventing you from the next level in your business.
Yeah, so I have a good problem, and my problem is that I'm having a hard time keeping up with my current clients, let alone keeping up with and staying on top of my clients that are not quite ready now, not quite in contract right now, to be able to follow up with them and really keep them on that process. So I guess my question is what would you recommend to help a solo agent? I did just recently start getting a showing assistant to help me with showing, so
Yep.
that's been helpful. But what else would you all recommend for a solo agent to help in growing that business and handling the client load so I don't absolutely lose my sanity?
Love
Yeah.
it.
Let's tell us a little bit about your production. Like, how many transactions have you done this year? You know, what's your volume? What's your gross? What's your net?
I'm trying to remember. I haven't had a ton already this year, but so I want to say it was like 5 or 6 closings already this year. And then I had one yesterday, and I'll have 5 more the second half of this month.
Okay.
Plus several more buyers who are in contract with like
Okay.
new builds, from dirt.
Yep.
But just a lot of inbound leads. So it's people, it's not like a Zillow lead where I'm chasing people down, but it's people who've reached out to me and want me to help them. And then it's
Yep.
just, again, a matter of staying
How
on top
long
of
have you
them.
been in the business?
I just passed 4 years, so this is my 5th year now.
Okay. Awesome. And what was your volume last year? Like number of transactions volume last year?
I want to say it was 15 or 16 transactions for a little under 5 million.
That's your issue, man. Your issue is you need to know your numbers immediately. And obviously I mean that respectfully, not beating you up, but I want to help you the best I can. Is like it shouldn't be, I think 15 to 16. I think this, like your first step to freedom. And just, this is what I guess I've learned in my experience is normally when I'm growing something and it's not executing at the level I want, but it's doing great, right? I think about Reminder Media and, I think about like our postcard division and when it was first scaling up and we were trying to build it, like we're known for our magazines. We had people asking us about, doing postcards. So we just were like, man, we're overwhelmed with business. Clients are asking us, let's spin up postcards. And we started running postcards. Josh is laughing because, we got it up to, I forget, 3 million or something like that in revenue at that period of time. But the problem was we didn't take it actual seriousness in tracking our P&L for the postcards. And just like you, it was like, oh, it's going well. Like we're overwhelmed. Like this is business coming in. Turns out as we started to track the P&L, we weren't making really any money. And so we ended up having to readjust the whole business based upon the numbers. And that's what I am sensing from you is going, oh, you're crushing it. You're naturally talented. You've been in 4 years. You're doing incredible, man. So kudos to you. Most agents aren't closing what you're closing. But if you want to go to that next level, you have to have certainty around what your numbers are. Meaning, oh, I've closed this much this year. This is the exact number of leads I have that have come in. And this is my then process to handle those leads. Because until you almost like know the number, you can't develop the systems.
That's right.
In order to help you leverage against that number. So I'm curious your thoughts, Cody, as the ops guy.
Yeah.
What your kind of experience has been in this.
Yeah, no, I love that because I was also thinking my first thing was like, all right, what's your goal or your plan that you want to get up to? Do you want to build a team? Do you want to stay solo? Because all those answers have to do with what you should do next. So I've got like 3 different ideas I could tell you right off the bat, but I want to hear what your goals are and what you're trying to get to.
Sure. I mean, eventually I'd love to be less in production and more so just bringing in the leads that way. Because I have 5 little kids, and so that way I could make sure I get time with them and not running out doing showings and whatnot. Yeah. So, and I mean, like last weekend, I had a new listing while I was at my son's baseball game, and I'm fielding phone calls the entire time. And I'm like, this is a hot mess, So I think eventually, whether it be a team or just referring the clients out to someone else, even if they're not technically on my team, something like that would probably be the goal.
Okay. So bring in a buyer's agent. It's like an eventual goal of yours you would like to get to.
Yeah, and potentially even a listing agent as well.
So would you know what kind of volume you would need? And this is going back to what Luke was saying, that you would need to get to in order to financially make that make sense.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably need to be at least 10 to 15 million, probably to like start feeling where I'd feel comfortable with that.
Yep. Okay. So we need to double our production in order to bring someone like that along.
Yeah.
Right.
Which I think I'll probably get at least pretty close to 10 million this year, I think.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but I mean, that is the essential problem. Luke, brought it up. It's like we just, as real estate agents, for whatever reason, and it took me so long to do this as well, we do not know our P&L.
Mm-hmm.
And like, so we always ask, like I ask volume numbers, transaction numbers, right? I want to get to that. But then I'm just like, okay, but what was your gross?
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's okay with GCI. They're just like, yeah, I made this much in GCI.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's your P&L? It's like, well, I'm running at a 5%, profit margin.
Right. Yeah.
And it doesn't work because like you want to get out of this business and retire, but you'd have you're throwing splits and stuff out there just wildly. You're hiring a showing agent. You decide to hire a buyer's agent on your team, and you realize your profits just drop through the roof. You have to start with that because you got to go, what's it going to take volume wise, then gross income wise, then profitability to be able to pay for that buyer's agent. You have to get there because your next step, honestly though, your next step will not be the buyer's agent. Keep with the showing agent. You're going to find that you're going to go, dude, I'm only paying my showing agent this much.
Yep.
Great job. Right. So then the next one's going to be your transaction coordinator. Right. And the biggest thing with transaction coordinator, you're going to go, what's it going to cost me to get this in the industry, right? And then you go out and hire a badass transaction coordinator and put the whole transaction on their plate. I'm talking writing contracts, right? Setting up inspections, taking it all the way to closing with communicating with your client. That's going to take the most time off your plate. And I would encourage you, do not step out of the business too soon, right? Everyone wants to go from I want to start a team and jump out of the business, right? You've got, it sounds discouraging, you got a 5-year period at least to ramp up to get the team so that you can pull out of production.
Because we literally made that mistake. We got up to 14 agents. You pulled yourself out of the business, Steve, dependent on John and Lolly at the time. Shout out to them. Hope they're doing well, but they ended up leaving us for splits. The team crumbled. Now you're down to 5 agents that are doing, amazing, like a SEAL team, and totally turned it around. But that was our experience. It's like we made that literal mistake of Steven crushing it. You did 35 your first year, 78 your second year, I think it was. Hired Kelly on as kind of an assistant, similar kind of, David, to what you're saying, although she was doing more transaction coordinating, I think, at the time. Started to scale the team, 320 transactions by our 5th year, and then boom.
The reason it takes 5 years because it's until you get SOPs, like this is what a buyer's agent does. This is transaction coordinator does, and you can present that, you're going to live in chaos. So when you pull out of production, to my point, is the agents hold the leverage. So when an agent's doing 30 40 deals on your team and you're not producing, if they walk out the door, what happens to your P&L? And where I was, and so then I made bad decisions, commission breath on going, I can't change the split here, you know what I mean? I can't not send the person a lead when I shouldn't send them a lead because I need the profitability. Start with your numbers. You got to know those, and then you can ramp up. And I would encourage you to hire a transaction coordinator after the showing assistant and then a buyer's agent.
The volume and the lead flow. So P&L, admin first.
Yeah. And Stephen, to your point, were you suggesting it being a licensed assistant? That way they can actually help with contracts and all that kind of stuff too.
It's so easy. I don't know what state. I think you said Ohio.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how difficult it is there, but it's so easy to get a real estate. All of our ISAs have real estate. Every single
employee on our team has to get a license.
Even our marketing coordinator is getting one right now. He's in the background here.
David, man, fantastic question. We got to get on to our next caller, but I want to summarize for you is you're doing extremely well. So you're naturally talented. The activity that you're doing is fantastic, but my ideal is just now focus on becoming the business owner, not just the salesman. Right now you're in the salesman role. You must get into the business owner role. A business owner has a goal, knows their numbers, and then develops a strategic plan based upon what historical activity is the best thing to tell you what you can do in the future. So you need to track your numbers, know them based upon that target. Set the targets. Let's talk in a year. I guarantee you're going to be at 20 million if you do that. If you don't do it, we'll talk to you and you'll still be at 8. But if you do it, you'll be at 20 million. But